Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 4, Chapter 9, text 37. Akarnyatma jam ayantam
Yatmajam ayatam
samparetya yathagatam
samparetya yathagatam
rajana shraddade bhadram
rajana shraddate patram
abhadrasya kuto mama.
abhadrasya kuto mama.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When King Uttanapad heard that his son Dhruva was coming back home, as if coming back to life after death, he could not put his faith in this message, for he was doubtful of how it could happen. He considered himself the most wretched, and therefore he thought that it was not possible for him to attain such good fortune. So we have been hearing about Dhruva Maharaj, how he was, Narad Muni had gone to tell King Uttanapad about that how his son had become a great devotee, and now he's feeling so, he, because he thought his son was dead. You know, when we lose something and then we are going to get it back, then the emotion is even much more stronger. Dhruv Maharaj, a 5-year-old boy, went to the forest for penance and austerity, and the king could not at all believe that a small boy of such a tender age could live in the forest. He was certain that Dhruva was dead. He therefore could not fix his faith in the message that Dhruv Maharaj was coming back home again. For him, this message said that a dead man was coming back home, and so he could not believe it. After Dhruv Maharaj's departure from home, King Uttanapad thought that he was the cause of Dhruva's leaving, and thus he considered himself the most wretched. Therefore, even though it was possible that his lost son was coming back from the kingdom of death, he thought that since he was most sinful, it was not possible for him to be so fortunate as to get back his lost son. Shraddha Vakyam Devarshe
Shraddhaya vakyam devarshi
Harsha Vegena Darshitaha
harshavagena darshitaha
Varta Hartur Atiprito
Bharta hartur atipreto
Haram Pradhan Mahadhanam.
haram pradan mahadhanam.
Although he could not believe the words of the messenger, he had full faith in the word of the great sage Narad. Thus he was greatly overwhelmed by the news, and he immediately offered the messenger a highly valuable necklace in great satisfaction. So he had faith in Narad Muni, like because of the personality of Narad Muni. Why would Narad Muni even lie, right? Similarly, when we are hearing the scriptures from the authorized spiritual master, then we need to see that their character it's is of the highest character, and so why would they lie? They're telling us about love of God, and that's for our benefit. So Sad Ashram Ratham Aruya
Sad ashvam ratham aruhya
Karta Swara Parishkritam
kartasvara parishkritam
Brahmane Kulavriddhescha
brahmane kulavriddescha
Paryasto Matya Bandhubihi
paryasto atmatya bandhubihi
Shankha Dundubi Nadena
शङ्खदुन्दुभिनादेन
Brahma Goshena Venubihi
ब्रह्मघोषेण वेणुभिः
Nischakrama Puraturnam
निश्चक्रामपुरातुर्णम्
Atmajabhikshanot Sukhaha.
आत्मजापीशनो सुखः.
Then King Uttanapad, being very eager to see the face of his lost son, mounted a chariot drawn by excellent horses and bedecked with golden filigree, taking with him many learned brahmanas, all the elderly personalities of his family, his officers, his ministers, and his immediate friends. He immediately left the city. As he proceeded in this parade, there were auspicious sounds of conch shells, kettle drums, flutes, and the chanting of Vedic mantras to indicate all good fortune. So the king is not going alone by himself. He's taking with him this whole entourage, There's brahmanas, there are the elders, there are ministers. He wants to give a grand reception to Dhruva. He's feeling so bad that he had not stopped him when he went to the forest. Then he was scared that he was dead, and now he's so happy. He wants to give him a grand reception.
But his two wives don't come with him.
Oh, it's not particularly mentioned, but probably went, no? I'm not sure. They probably would have gone, right? I mean,
Yeah, both like,
yeah,
okay, the stepmother, Dhruvas, would have been repenting, right? She should have
yeah,
come.
yeah. And his own mother.
Mm,
I don't know, it's not particularly mentioned, but it would be natural for them to go too, right?
right.
Yeah. Suniti Suruchischasya
Suniti Suruchi Shashya
Maheshyo Rukma Bhushite
Maheshyo Rukma Bhushite
Aruya Shibikam Sardham
Aruya Shibikam Sardam
Utma Ne Uttammenabhi Jagmatuho.
Uttamena Bijagmatuhu.
Both the queens of King Uttanapad, namely Suniti and Suruchi, along with his other son Uttam, appeared in the procession. The queens were seated on a palanquin. Okay, so they
Okay,
went also.
yes. Right,
And Uttam has also gone.
right.
After the departure of Dhruv Maharaj from the palace, the king was very afflicted, but by the kind words of Saint Narad, he was partially satisfied. He could understand the great fortune of his wife Suniti and the great misfortune of Queen Suruchi, for these facts were certainly very open in the palace. But still, when the news reached the palace that Dhruv Maharaj was returning, his mother Suniti, out of her great compassion and due to being the mother of a great Vaishnava, did not hesitate to take the other wife, Suruchi, and her son Uttam on the same palanquin. That was the greatness of Queen Suniti, the mother of the great Vaishnava Dhruv Maharaj. So Suniti did not hold any grudge against Suruchi. That's a nice point here. We might hold grudges. Oh, how could you do that to my child? How could you? You were so harsh to him that my child had to go to the forest, only 5 years old. But here Suniti is not being seeking revenge or holding any anger in her heart. In fact, she is understanding the position of Suruchi and being compassionate to her, kind to her, and her son. So that's a very, very good quality to rise above our immediate feeling and to extend the compassion to others. Tam drishtvopavanabhyascha
Tam Drishtvopavanabhyasha
ayantam tarasarathat
Ayantam Tarasharathat
Avarhuya nripasturnam
avaruhya nirpasturnam
asadya prema vivalaha
asadya prema vivalah
parirebe an gajam dorbhyam
parirepe angajam dorpyam
dirghot kantha manashwasan
dirgot kantha manashwasan
vishvakshenagri samparsha
vishvakshena senagri samsprasha
ata sheshaga bandhanam.
hatasheshagabandhanam.
Upon seeing Dhruva Maharaj approaching the neighboring small forest, King Uttanpad, with great haste, got down from his chariot. He had been very anxious for a long time to see his son Dhruva, and therefore, with great love and affection, he went forward to embrace his long lost boy. Breathing very heavily, the king embraced him with both arms. But Dhruv Maharaj was not the same as before. He was completely sanctified by spiritual advancement due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after seeing Krishna, after seeing Lord Vishnu, Dhruva is changed. Many people say, "Oh, I saw God," but is the change there in them? Here he is, you know, he's on, the king can also probably see that. He's spiritually advanced now.
Hare Krishna.
So he's purified. Yes, Hare Krishna.
So he's still 5 years old now.
Yeah, he's still 5 years old. Yeah, he's coming back as a small boy. He was there 6 months in the forest. He
Right.
did austerities for 6 months and he's come back. But he, because of devotional service, he was able to satisfy the Lord, and the Lord, he saw the Lord, and now he's spiritually advanced. Atha Jigran Muhur Murdhani
Atha jikran muhur murtini
Shiter Nayana Varibihi
shite nayana varibihi
Snapayam Ashatanayam
snapayam asatanayam
Jato Dama Manoratha.
jato dhamma manoratah.
Reunion with Dhruv Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanapad's long cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. By nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing, whereas tears in times of distress are very hot. So Prabhupada is pointing out here, Bhagavatam is saying King Uttanpad was crying out of happiness, and so the tears were cooling. But when we cry in distress, then those tears are hot.
Oh, I didn't know that that it's cold when it's in happiness, the tears.
Mhm.
And in distress, it's hot, very
Hot.
hot.
Yeah. Abhivandya Pitupadav
Abhivandya pituhu pada
Ashribhischa
ashibhischa bimantritah
Nanama Matra Shishna
nanama mataro shrishna
Satkrita Sajjana Granihi.
satkrita sajjanagranihi.
Then Dhruv Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father and was honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers. It may be questioned why Dhruva Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother, but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave home. The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruva Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desire. So he's not holding that grudge anymore. He's become self-realized. He's seen God. His heart is free of the material desires. And so has
Yeah.
no ill feeling against his stepmother.
I think it's like a benediction, in fact, no? He must be taking it, seeing, because of his stepmother, he left home and he got to see, in fact, the Supreme
Yes,
Person, Godhead. Right?
yes, yes. True, no? Otherwise, he
Mm.
wouldn't have left home, and then how he would have seen the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Feelings of insult or honor in this material world are never perceived by a devotee. So, this is the pure devotee. He is on the Brahma Bhuta platform. And so he is seeing he's not affected. Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass. And he recommends more tolerant than the tree to execute devotional service. So Lord Chaitanya in his Shikshastakam says, Trinadapi sunichena taror api sahisnuna amanena manadena kirtanya sada hari. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Caitaniya Caritamita, says we should tie this verse around our neck. Never forget it. This is the foundation of chanting. Because in this mood, then we can constantly chant. Humbler than the grass, more tolerant than tree. So the more we chant, the more we can be situated in this position.
What is such Janagranihi means actually?
The foremost of noble men. Sajjana Granihi. Yeah. We'll just read a little here. Dhruv Maharaj, therefore, has in this verse been described as such Janagranihi, the foremost of noble men. Saj Janagranihi. Sajjana. So the noble man and foremost is
Okay.
Dhruv Maharaj. The pure devotee is the noblest of all, and he has no feelings of animosity towards anyone. So sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 54, the Brahma Bhuta platform. Then Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. So here Dhruv Maharaj is showing practically, what Krishna is saying, sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He has no feeling of animosity toward anyone. Duality due to animosity is a creation of this material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world, which is the absolute reality. So there is no envy, this this kind of envy in the spiritual world. There may be some competition to how to please Krishna, but there is never any ill feeling towards anyone. The competition may be, let me try to please Krishna more and more, but it's all on a platform of love, not that I wish harm to anyone. That is here in the material world. The envy, that we might wish harm to someone. That's here. But Dhruv Maharaj, he's beyond all that because he's become a pure devotee. He's a liberated person right now. He's on the
So,
Brahma Bhuta platform.
so there's no duality, right?
Mm.
When you're in the Brahma Bhuta platform.
Yeah, no duality. No duality. Because, yeah, his consciousness is purified.
Mm.
Mm.
So he's above happiness, distress, and everything, right? All that.
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
Mm.
Doesn't affect him.
Doesn't affect him. Yeah, he's
Okay.
risen beyond.
He's beyond.
Suruchistam samuthapya.
Suruchistam samuthapya.
Padavanatam arbhakam.
Padavanatam arbakam.
Parishva jyaha jiveti.
Parishvajaha jiveti.
Bhaspa gadaya gira.
Paspa gataya gira.
Suruchi, the younger mother of Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that the innocent boy had fallen at her feet, immediately picked him up, embracing him with her hands, and with tears of feeling, she blessed him with the words, "My dear boy, long may you live. Long may you live." She is blessing him now. She's also probably uh, regretting, no?
Yeah.
This is a bit long. Yasya prasano Bhagavan.
Yasya prasanno Bhagavan.
Guner Maitri Adibir Harihe.
Guner Maitri Adibir Hari.
Tasmai Namanti Bhutani.
Tasmai namanti bhutani.
Nimnam Apa Iva Swayam.
Nimnam apa iva swayam.
Up unto one who has transcendental qualities due to friendly behavior with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all living entities offer honor, just as water automatically flows down by nature. The question may be raised in this connection, why Suruchi, who was not at all favorably disposed towards Dhruv, blessed him? Long may you live. Which means that she also desired good fortune for him. So now in the previous verse, she's blessing. Now the question is raised, why is she giving him this blessing? The answer is given in this verse. Since Dhruv Maharaj was blessed by the Lord due to his transcendental qualities, everyone was bound to offer him all respects and benediction, just as water by its nature flows downward. It's just natural. It's natural because Dhruva has been blessed by the Lord. It's natural that everyone wants to bless Dhruva. A devotee of the Lord does not demand respect from anyone, but wherever he goes, he's honored by everyone throughout the whole world with all respect. Yeah, a devotee does not seek honor, the pure devotees. That's what Lord Chaitanya just said. Amanena manadena. He's not uh, expecting anything, but he's giving all respect to everyone. But it's naturally that when we see a pure devotee, we naturally offer all respect to them. We can understand, oh, he is in such a great position. He deserves my respect. He deserves my honor. That's what we feel when we see a pure devotee. Srinivas Acharya said that 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are respected throughout the entire universe because a devotee, having pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all emanations, automatically pleases everyone, and thus everyone offers him respect. So the Srinivas Acharya, one of the great acharyas in our line, he was very instrumental in spreading the books, the transcendental literature after the passing of, after Lord Chaitanya and his associates disappeared. So it was Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamnanda Prabhu that carried on the preaching mission. And he says that why the 6 Goswamis are respected throughout the entire universe, not only on this planet, entire universe. Why? Because they have pleased Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. If Krishna is pleased, everyone is pleased, like pouring water on the tree. We try to please every individual, and then we fail sometimes. Sometimes we are able to please one, displease another. But if we can just try to please Krishna, in that way we will be able to please everyone. But because we have different centers, somehow or the other, we can try to please Krishna. That's how we will be able to automatically please everyone else. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.